Alright everybody, we're back. We're back with another day to decal another diecast. How's everybody doing out there? It's good to be with you. Looking forward to it today. I got a little bit different setup going on. I got microphone stand over here in this corner. You can't see it, it's off screen obviously. Then I got a new light here to brighten things up a little bit. It was dark. I think that looks a little bit better. It has some different settings. Let's see if I can change the color. That I don't like as much, but that. We are bright there so we can see what we're working on. So hopefully the audio's good. I might mute myself really quick just to get a quick listen. Sounds all right. Okay. So, as you guys can see, I already put a couple decals in the water. I'm gonna try and get out of here at 9:30 tonight. My goal is to get all of these on this car by 9:30, except for a few of them, like these decals here for the back glass. Probably not. Spoiler decals, probably not. That'll be the red and yellow with the Menards and the general tire. Probably won't get to those. Maybe not this front splitter decal, but I'm going to try my best to get everything else on the car tonight. Fairly simple paint scheme. If you guys weren't with us last time, I figured out how to switch camera angles. So here we have the actual on-track car that Cody ran at Talladega earlier this year. This was an unfortunate car because he blew I think it was a right front tire going into turn 2 and absolutely pounded the wall and destroyed this car. So that was unfortunate, of course. It didn't get to see the end of the race. I don't even know if they got to halfway. I don't remember. But yeah, it's a very simple paint scheme and I kind of like it. Black and white's a very easy color combination to work with because it's monochromatic, but also I love the accents with the yellow windshield banner as well as the yellow spoiler on the back of the car. So a simple paint scheme, but I like it. So let's go back to here so we can go full screen with it. An interesting thing about the Toyota body style diecast is the windshields, the front glass peaks really high in the corners. And so to get the windshield banner to wrap nicely across the windshield, you have to peak it really high in the corners as well. I designed these decals, this decal sheet. Cody provided me with some of the information, some of the sponsors and logos, and then I did the rest of the work. So again, another car that I'm gonna be proud of all of the cars that I work on, but this one again is just another instance of me being able to create a car in decals myself, which I'm getting better at. I'm not perfect, but I'm always learning. So the interesting thing about this is on the real car, I don't know if we could go back to that picture. You see this windshield banner kind of goes straight across the front. So we're kind of achieving that as well here. So yeah, it's a little different, but I'm gonna also have to grease my chair at some point because it's creaking and that's annoying me. I don't know how much it's coming through on the audio, but I can hear it and it's bugging me. So yeah, hopefully you guys are doing well out there. I'm gonna try to entertain you for the next hour and a half. We'll see how it goes. Almost the end of the week. We got another Thursday night stream. I saw NASCAR 25 came out and I kind of wish I still played video games. I don't have time to. It looks like a really fun game. They did a lot with iRacing to make it it looks pretty good. So whoever's gonna buy the game and play it, congrats on that, because it does look like a fun game. I just don't have time to work on video games. I basically have time to work on my cars for other people. And I got reached out to by another driver the other day, so it just keeps getting busier and busier. I guess that's a good problem to have. But yeah, so again, if you guys are kind of new here or new to this whole thing, the ARCA series, which is this car, is basically like the 4th tier of NASCAR. It's still professional stock car racing, but it's just the lowest level of NASCAR sanctioned stock car racing in the United States. NASCAR purchased ARCA, like, how many years ago was that? I don't remember how many years it was ago that they purchased ARCA as a series, but they did that, and they wanted to have it be more of a developmental series for drivers and get some seat time at the bigger tracks and learn kind of the ropes. And so that's what ARCA always kind of was, but now it's sanctioned by NASCAR, so it's a little bit closer tied to the top. And you've had drivers come through ARCA like William Byron 2016, even Michael McDowell, Zane Smith, Regan Smith. Let's see, who am I missing? There's a ton of them. Chris Buescher ran ARCA not too long ago. Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson. A lot of drivers that are in the top 3 series today came through ARCA. So Cody's working on it. He's actually racing this weekend in Las Vegas with the ARCA Menards series. I think he's going to be in the 72 car. That's the other thing about ARCA, is it's kind of interesting because they're not necessarily as strict or as confined with numbers and sponsors as the top 3 series. So there's a lot of movement, a lot of things kind of come and go, like the Daytona car that he started with. He started the season with number 11, and obviously the car you guys see here today, he was in the number 9, and he wasn't even running a full schedule. It was a part-time schedule. So I don't know exactly how many races he's done up to this point, but it is not a full season, a full schedule that he's running. So kind of an interesting way. And racing is expensive. It's extremely expensive. So yeah, it's hard to get into one. And well, that's interesting. Where did my other grill piece go? Fell down. It's expensive to get into, so he's done some fundraisers and tried to get some money because it's not cheap. And it's just unfortunate too, like this Talladega car. He had a blown right front tire going into turn 2, hit the wall at about 180 miles an hour. Nothing he could have done, nothing his fault. It's just how it goes sometimes. That's racing. And sometimes you get caught up in other people's wrecks that you have nothing to do with. Pretty often at those tracks, Talladega, Daytona, the drafting tracks. Now that I think about it, both of his 2 drafting track races this year, Talladega and Daytona, he was caught up in wrecks which is unfortunate. But yeah, it's still cool. It's still cool to be able to make these cars. I'm actually going to be calling a local box supplier tomorrow about potentially having them help me make custom boxes for these cars. So that's kind of an announcement on the channel, a first. I don't know what it's going to entail. I don't know how the conversation is going to go, but I'm hoping that we can work together and be able to create custom boxes a little bit more simple than what I do now, and a little bit better quality. Not that what I do now is not good, but it's, I don't know, I wouldn't call it like professional level boxes. So yeah, that's something I'm looking forward to. Hopefully we can come up with something nice, some sort of deal, or have a good conversation. Then we can be crazy, but we could get our own boxes made. So we'll see. I guess I'll keep you guys posted. I'm sure you'll hear either on the channel or on Twitter if I get around to announcing it. But yeah, so getting all the way back to what I was going to say about this body style is this is actually a 2013, and I think they also ran it in 2014. Toyota Camry body. So the ARCA cars, I guess you could consider them the lowest level of technology in the top 3 series. But I wouldn't even really call it that, because they're still, so the 2013 body was the Gen 6 NASCAR Cup car. So really they're just using old Cup equipment. And I think they're on Gen 4 chassis. So like the Diecast, they're all, I don't know, they are what they are. They don't really change them that drastically unless it's like the next gen car, which came out this year, 2022 for the Cup Series. Then Lionel went through a bunch of tool changes and mold updates and everything like that. But the underside of the cars typically don't undergo a whole lot of change, even if the body style changes. So the next gen car did undergo quite a drastic body style change. So the chassis is different and has been updated. But yeah, so the ARCA cars from this year, 2025, are running 2013 NASCAR Cup Series bodies, and anywhere from 2013 to like 2000. I think Ford's into the Mustangs now, and I think they started racing the Mustangs in 2018, maybe. 18 might have been the first year that Ford had the Mustangs. So the Camrys, though, are still from that 2013 season in the Cup Series. I don't know. Maybe some of them have been updated, but at least the ones that Cody's run have been that older body style. And then, like I said, the chassis are Gen 4, so even older, like 2000, or maybe it's Gen 5 with the Car of Tomorrow. That platform was run from 2007 until 2012 was the last year of the Car of Tomorrow platform. And honestly, going back and watching some of the races that were in the Car of Tomorrow era compared to the next gen era that is currently in full swing, the Car of Tomorrow did not race as bad as people thought that it did. It's pretty hard to make a change from the best racing, arguably, maybe not arguably, the best racing in NASCAR series history with the Generation 4 car that ran from, I want to say it was like the late 80s or maybe it was the mid 90s to all the way up to 2007. So they had a lot of time to update it and make changes and perfect it, so to speak. But then after that, Car of Tomorrow came out in 2007. Then they raced that from 07 until 2012. And I would say by the time 2011, 2012 came around, they kind of perfected that car as well. Just enough time to turn the tables and create the next gen, Gen 6. Which 2013 was terrible. The racing was not good. And then 2014 was arguably some of the best racing that the Cup Series has ever seen, at least in recent memory. And then after that, they kind of started making a bunch of changes, and I would argue for the worse. and the racing just wasn't as good. 2015 was okay. 16, 17, I didn't really watch a ton. And then I think it might have been 2018 that they tried the 550 horsepower package, and it was terrible. I did see some of those races, and it was just so bad. But yeah, so NASCAR has made a lot of changes in the past 20 years, and I think that's hurt them a lot as well. I know right now they're talking about changing the points, which I would love, to go back to a full season points system. Whether or not they're going to do that, who knows? But that'd be really cool to see. So, I don't know. If that happens, that'll be a step in the right direction. The current playoff format is absolutely garbage, and a lot more people are being vocal about it, which is good, because I think NASCAR needs to hear it. They have been very slow to admit their mistakes, which has been frustrating, because they've lost a ton of viewership over the past 10 to 15 to 20 years, mostly of their own doing, might I add. But yeah, so I don't really want this stream to be about complaining about NASCAR, because the new game's coming out tonight, I think. And so I hope that's good. They worked a lot with iRacing, which Dale Jr.'s been a big proponent of iRacing for many, many years. William Byron, you've probably heard the story. He started on a computer. That was his whole thing. And now iRacing stepped up and helped out with this next NASCAR game, NASCAR 25, which from all the initial reports and all the clips that I've seen looked pretty good. So happy for all the people out there that can get it and play it. It looks like a lot of fun, but I just don't have the time for that. So, and it's fine. An interesting thing about these headlights is they wrap around two different areas of the car, so I did cut it into two pieces and separate them. I think it looks pretty good. This was the Gen 6 body style was kind of NASCAR's attempt to get back into a more manufacturer visible body style. The car tomorrow was very boxy, very square, and it didn't have a whole lot of manufactured detail on it. You couldn't really tell that it was a Ford or a Chevy or a Toyota or whatever, or a Dodge, unless you looked at the decals. Whereas these cars, you could kind of tell what they were. Obviously they have the decals on the hood and on the nose and on the rest of the body, but they look more like the cars that they're meant to represent, the stock cars, which is the whole point. That was like the whole point of NASCAR was stock car. It's in the name, the acronym. So yeah, that was kind of a big initiative that they had in 2013, well, in 2011 and 12 when they were developing this car. Hopefully you guys are learning something. I'm not the best teacher, but this is all just pretty common knowledge. So if you've paid attention to NASCAR for any length of time, and I've been trying to get away from it, but it keeps pulling me back in with all these diecasts I'm making people, which is fine. I don't dislike that. So, yeah, like I said, this car was Cody's that he ran at Talladega. You guys have probably seen that from the title. And I wonder if I could pull up the clip of him crashing. I'm still not that good with OBS. But I could try and pull the clip up and screen capture it. We don't have to play it with audio. We can just play it with the video. I'll see if I can find it while these next decals are in the water. I think it's kind of funny when you put, like, you have a base white car like this and you put the manufacturer decals on it. It just looks like, I don't know, a show car or something that could be anybody's. I guess we'll put these on over here. So then we have the general tire. So that's another thing about ARCA is they use general tires instead of Goodyear. Whoa. Instead of Goodyear tires. Let's see, Cody. All right. So I don't know. Oh, I'm not saying I don't have a Facebook. Let's see if this plays. I don't even know if it's gonna work. See more on Facebook. I have to log in. Boo. Oh wait, no I don't. Alright, let's see if I can... Let's see if I can set something up really quick. Alright, we're gonna do this in real time. I don't know if it's gonna work. We're gonna do a screen capture. We're gonna see if I can destroy my stream. Display capture. Yep. We're gonna do this one. Oh, guys, I think we got it. Okay. Now, if I click off on this other screen. All right, are you guys in the chat? Are you gonna tell me if this works or not? Are you guys even there? I see a few people watching, so that's at least a good sign. We're doing something in real time. I don't know if it's a good idea, but we'll try it. Give me something in the chat if you guys are there. I mean, I could save it for later. That's fine too. If more people join later, I could always do that. Oh no. I see. Well, we can come back to it later. It's not going anywhere. I think I got it. So let's, we'll go back to here. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So I don't know what lap it is. I don't know. They probably won't even show a replay. I can just show you them. Hi. Okay, cool. So we have some life in the chat. All right, let me. All right, are you ready to try something? Give me a yes in the chat if you're ready to try something. And I don't know if it's gonna work, but we'll try it. I don't know how delayed the chat is from what I'm doing here also. Okay. All right, we're gonna try it. All right. All right, you have to tell me if this works. If the music stops, well, okay, oops, let me go back to here, go to here, go to here, here, okay, hold on, that, okay, properties, uncheck that. No, we want what song are we even using? This stream is a disaster. Light expanse. Wait, that's not right. Is it? Hold on, I gotta mute myself. I don't even know what's happening. I think I think I got the wrong music playing. I could have the wrong music playing. So much for getting this car done early. Let me go back to here. Go to here. Light expanse. Okay, I guess I am playing light expanse. Okay, so we'll go to here. Go to here. Oh, maybe that's the intro. Okay. Alright, I think we're good. Okay. So we got light expanse. So we got that. And that one. And that one. Light expanse. Okay. Alright, are you ready? Tell me if you're on the screen with Cody's car now. Is the screen with Cody's smashed car on the main screen? Hopefully. Do you have it? Is it paused? Am I still talking? Okay, it looks like you can. My audio's okay. Yes. All right. Cool. So here's the crash. Let's see. Yeah. This is the car we're making. Sad. So that was Cody's Talladega car, the one that we're making currently right now. It was an unfortunate end to his race. But he was okay. He got out of the car and was okay. Alright, so now if we go back to here. So did that work? I think that worked. So now we're back to the main screen. Are we good? Was that a successful test? Did we learn something, everybody? All of my people. Cool. Well, I'm glad to hear. So now, if more people join later, we can circle back to that and I can explain it again without having to go through all of that rigmarole. Well, cool. I'm glad that worked. See, I learned something new today. I kind of knew that last time when I was messing with the stream. Success! We've had a success. You know, it's disappointing because I've also promoted this stream. Maybe I'll have to try and do a shorts stream for the next one. Or maybe Thursday night's just not a good time for people. I don't really know. Alright, let's put the contingency decals on. Front contingency decals. Maybe Thursday night everybody's busy. Doing what? I don't know. Headlight decal. So all of the decals for this car are pretty much on a white base, which means I don't have to have any white underlays underneath them, which is good. The only difference is like decals that go on top of other ones. So these two here go on top of the headlights, and so I have to do a white underlay for those so that the top layer is more opaque. And like all of these decals, this contingency cluster, they just go over top of the white base. So not much to it. You know what, let's just throw a bunch of these in while we're here. I see the hearts in the chat. I like that. That's fun. It's a Good time. Do you hear this chair? I can see it on the audio mixer, but I don't know if you can hear it over top of the music and over top of me working on the car and talking. But it's annoying. It's annoying me. So it is what it is, but it's still annoying. Oh, good. All right, good. You can't hear it. Well, that's fine. I'll still plan on fixing it because it bugs me. But interesting thing about this car is there are no decals on this back bottom piece. That is a little bright. Yeah, on this back bottom piece, there's no like manufactured decal back here. Only the Toyota up here. Maybe this light is too bright. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, and the decal that goes in the headlight. So on this 2013 style body, the number would always go in the driver's or in the passenger side headlight, and the Jeez, I can't talk tonight. The team organization decal would go in the driver's side headlight. So that's something that they kind of took away from the Cup cars. Now they put them underneath, like in this space. I think they do that for all the series now, actually. I kind of miss it being in the headlight a little bit, but I understand having them underneath. And this decal here, I actually got some help from the guy who did the design work on this car. He was able to send me an updated decal for Fast Track Racing. It was their 30th anniversary. So they had their 30th anniversary logo. I think it was 30. Let me see. Yeah, it's 30. I'll show you the decal in a second. But that 30th anniversary logo, I wasn't able to find a good picture of it, and Cody didn't have it, so I reached out to the guy that made these graphics for this car, and he was able to help me out, which was cool. I like working with the smaller teams because they got a lot of good people working with them and willing to help out, which is nice. And again, as I've pretty much said in every single one of these streams, if it weren't for people like me, there are some other people out there that make some ARCA cars and some smaller teams. Like these people, they just wouldn't have their diecast made because Lionel's not going to invest in them because it's not profitable for Lionel. To a degree, I understand that, but I think that hurts the overall industry. I mean, NASCAR doesn't do itself any favors for a lot of things, but I think not being able to have the cars, the diecast, is a huge hindrance. When I was growing up, a huge proponent as to why I liked NASCAR was because I had the diecast cars. As you guys have seen, most of them are 164, but as you guys have seen, probably, the basement video, a lot of those cars are from my childhood, from growing up when I was a kid. So I think NASCAR, that's a big thing that they need to figure out, is how to take Lionel away from the monopolization that they've created. I don't know how they do that. I don't know what that looks like. But if Lionel doesn't make the car for the driver that you want, you will only get that car if you make it yourself or get it custom made by somebody. So, and I think that's a huge detriment to the overall success of NASCAR as a series. If you can't get your favorite driver's car, that disincentivizes you to pay attention because, I mean, honestly, if I were a young fan and I couldn't buy a car of a driver that's young and upcoming that I wanted, I'd be pretty disappointed. Whoa, I had a big sneeze there. I don't know if, I think I muted in time, but that was a pretty big sneeze. So we're gonna These contingency decals, we're going to drop down a little bit. They're a little high on the car for my liking. And like I've said before in all my other videos, I try to make these things as accurate as I can, as close to the real cars as I can. When that's designing the decals, when that's applying them to the cars, I try to get them as close to possible as I can to the real cars. Is it always like that? No, nothing's 100%. But I do try my best to get them as close as possible. So this one, the Reese's, is right at the top of the, it's right at the top of that cutout for the brake duct opening. And then the Bounty and Sunoco just don't touch the headlight decal. So I wanted to make sure that was right. And this Menards down at the bottom, it ever so slightly touches the top of the splitter. So I think we did a really, really good job of getting these sized right. This is fun. And I know not a ton of people are here watching, and that's fine. But part of it is I'm going to be decaling cars anyway. So if you guys want to come hang out, mess around in the chat, whatever, it makes it a little bit more fun. And yeah, like I said, I'm gonna be doing this anyway, so I might as well have some fun with it. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. Some streams are way more fun than others, but that's okay. This one's still pretty fun. We learned something new with the screen mirroring, or screen capturing, so I enjoyed that so far. And it looks like everything's going pretty well, stream-wise. Doesn't look like we're dropping any frames. Pretty much at what we should be. Maybe a few frames here and there. And the connection looks good as well, so hopefully you guys are enjoying this fun we're having together on this Thursday evening. This week's NASCAR race is at Las Vegas. I think off the top of my head, only I don't think trucks are running. I think it's just Cup and Xfinity. Well, and ARCA too. But I think it's ARCA West. So it's not like the official, or it's not the main ARCA, it's more of like the local, smaller ARCA. But still, it's a race. Cody will be there. I think Cody's already out there. And then hopefully, I'm hoping the 39 team has a good weekend because they need it. They have had some bad luck the past couple weeks in the Xfinity series. Hopefully they can have a good weekend, get a solid result, run up front. They've been pretty good on the 1.5 miles, so hopefully they can do pretty well. This contingency cluster goes pretty high up on the door. The Menards kind of nestles itself right in the A post. Here, we can bring it closer. Right in the A post. And we got to make sure the only thing is we just have to make sure it's straight. Yeah. And then this Cali's at the bottom just barely gets into the flat of where the rocker panel is. So we want to make sure that all of our decals are in the right spot. That's one thing I also like about the ARCA series. They have contingency sponsors because it's important to them and to the teams to thank all of the manufacturers that work with them. like Brembo brakes and comp cams, Ilmore engines. What else do they have on here? Lincoln electric welders, Holley fuel injectors, EFI. What else? Let's see if I know more of these. I don't know what Intercomp is. I don't know what Dart and Cowleys are. Jostens, I wonder if that's the ring place. I probably should know more of these, but I'm not in the racing world. I'm just a fan. I'm on the outside. So, and I don't really do a whole lot in the automotive field as far as like these kinds of components go. I'm on the OE side, the original equipment manufacturing side. So we work with Ford and GM and Tesla, Rivian, and other companies, but that's from the top down basically. So we don't really see what any of the other suppliers are for most of the vehicles that we work on. And on top of that, I'm not even in the product engineering side anymore. I am in the analysis side. So whatever models need to be run, I run them, and that's about it. So I don't even know most of the time what programs we're even running. This side can go up a little bit more. This ARCA decal wraps just into the hood ever so slightly. Again, like last video, I feel like Bob Ross. We're gonna put some happy decals on this car. A few happy little decals on the car. So we're 45 minutes in. We made some good progress. We're gonna slap the main hood decal on now. Just want to center that up. Aeon Water Technology. I just gotta look at my reference picture on the other screen real quick. Unfortunately, I don't get like really clear, really good pictures. So this one's actually closer down to the nose. It leaves a weird gap in the middle. Not too bad. It's right underneath it's right above the hood pins. That's pretty much it. But it's underneath the hood flaps. This side has to go up just a touch. This you gotta get right. I can't stand messing this up. So you just want to make sure everything's in the right spot. Work all of the water out of the decal. We did put some decal setting solution down. It looks pretty central. Again, I just eyeball them and try to use reference areas on the car. Looks pretty good. I can't complain with that. I'm sure Cody won't either when he sees it. He'll probably think it's pretty cool. Although, he might not, because this is a car that he wadded up at Talladega. Really not his fault. I wouldn't... Again, it is not his fault. He blew a tire. You can't blame that on him. So, yeah. Now we'll get into... I don't know if any of you guys... If you guys were here for the last stream, but the last thing I'll do is put the name rail decals on, because I like to pick the car up from there, from that area. We don't want to be putting our fingers on that constantly. We'll just keep working our way down the side of the car. This Fast Track Racing decal, I designed it myself. I think it's turned out pretty good, pretty close. Pretty close to what the real decal looks like on the car. But yeah, so I'll just dip those in the water and give them a couple seconds to come off of the backing. So I'm liking this new setup. I got the microphone over in this corner. It's on an arm that I can push back when I'm done streaming, so it's always in the same spot. I really like that. And then I got a new light, and I think it looks good. I think it really brightens everything up. It definitely brightens things up. So that's cool. And then what else? I figured out a little bit of, this stuff. So this is the car we're making. So far, I think we're getting there. I think it looks, let's see if we can match the angle. This is hard. Probably something like that. Maybe a little more straight on to the side. But yeah, so far I think it looks pretty good. I think some of the diecast proportions are a little bit off of what the real cars are. I know these are 2013 bodies, but I think they're sometimes a little off of what the real cars look like. So, but overall, I mean, they're close. They're close enough to be good, and that's what matters. So this little small, what would you call these? Associate sponsors on the side here, they just barely touch the top of what the rocker panel would be on the real car. And now that I look at them, they might be a little big. They might be a little bit big now that I'm looking at them. But I don't think it's detrimental. Again, I did design these decals, but honestly, for Cody's cars to be in his collection, to have the associate sponsors be a little bit bigger than what they actually would be, so you could see them better, is probably not a bad thing. So, yeah, they're a little bit big, but that's okay. They don't interact with the Aeon. See that space between the Elite and the A is too short. I probably could have made these associate sponsors a little bit smaller. I did when I sized them up. I thought I got them right, but apparently not. So if I ever do go back and make this car again, that will be one thing that I'm going to fix. I'm kind of taking mental notes while I make all of these cars to kind of see what I did wrong, what I did right. what needs to be fixed again if I decide to go back and remake them. Like this fast track decal. This fast track decal probably could have been a little bit bigger. But again, I don't think it's... you would really have to look at it to make it seem noticeable. I think it looks pretty good. We'll see if Cody says anything when he gets these cars, because I don't think he's watching the stream, but if he is, then he knows. But if he's not, I'll see if he says anything when he gets these cars. He'll probably just grab them, put them on a shelf, and forget about them. Same thing with this flux decal. I think the flux could have been... I think it just could have been a little bit taller. Like this way. Just add that there. It still looks good, so, you know, I'm not complaining. I'm not gonna complain about them. Put the 9 center door. This is how race car numbers should be. Center door. The 9. It's a little bit higher on the door, a little bit into the crease. The inside of the 9 is just past the crease of the door. So, and it's parallel to the ground, essentially. And kind of centered. Maybe back just a hair. We'll get it like that. So, like I said, a little bit higher on the door, centered, which is good. We like race cars that are centered. We'll go back to the full screen here. And we'll just take the water out of the decal. And there's your driver's side done, pretty much. Oh wait, I gotta put this decal in here. Actually, now that I think about it, the last decal I plan on putting on is the roof number, because I have to let that dry before I cut the roof flaps out. Oh, that's another thing. These old ARCA cars. Okay, so in 2013, if you were looking to buy a NASCAR diecast, you had 2 options. You had the Elite and you had the ARC. The ARC was this body style and this chassis with rubber tires, posable wheels, well, not the rears, but you could turn the fronts, independent suspension all the way around. It's kind of hard to do while it's on its side. And then the bodies, you could open the trunk, you could open the roof flaps, you could open the hood. The Elites were basically all of this with tethers and a few extra bits and pieces. Like the engine was actually an engine, not just like molded into the chassis. Those were the Elites. These were the ARCs. You could get these ARCs from anywhere. I think they were like $65 if I remember correctly. I could be misremembering, but I think they were somewhere around like somewhere between like the $50 to $70 range, and then Elites were about $109-ish, somewhere around there, but with a ton more detail. Now the cars you get, the Cup cars, we'll just stick with Cup for a second. They have the ARCs and the Elites. Well, now they have the Premier Elites, but the cost of them is insane. How much more expensive they are, and you don't get as much detail. I mean, the modern Elite is basically the ARC from 2013, 14, 15. The ARC today does not have an opening trunk on the Cup car, and I'm fairly certain the chassis is plastic. I don't really buy those anymore. I know for the Xfinity cars, they don't have opening roof flaps, they don't have opening trunk, and the the chassis is absolutely plastic. So there is that. Very disappointing from a quality standpoint. I understand, I suppose, Lionel's business model, but again, they monopolize the industry, so they bought up all the other companies, and if they don't make it, nobody else does. So yeah, it's funny because I'm making Xfinity cars for Ryan Sieg, the driver and one of his crew members, and the ARCA cars that I'm making for Cody have more detail than the Xfinity cars. So it's 2 levels down as far as like series level goes. But the Diecast have much more detail in them. So I don't know if I would call that funny or ironic. I don't really know what I would call it. It's kind of sad, to be honest. But yeah. I part of me likes working on these ones more because they do have more detail, but they require more work. So when we get to the taillights back here, the taillight wraps around the side of the car and then onto the deck lid, onto this trunk part. So I have to cut that, and then obviously with the roof flaps and the number being on the roof, you have to cut that out. So it creates more work, but it looks a heck of a lot better. And that's the unfortunate thing about the Xfinity cars now is I love the Ryan Sieg paint scheme. It's really cool, but it's on a junk diecast. Like, there's not a whole lot of detail in it. And it's unfortunate because it's a really cool paint scheme and the diecast just doesn't do it justice, unfortunately. Now, I'm sure I could get into model building, like plastic model kit, but I don't even think they have an Xfinity body for that. Maybe somebody has a resin 3D print of it or something. But to my knowledge, there aren't any kits for Xfinity cars. There might be, but again, the plastic models are so much more involved. That's like past the level of detail that I want to get into. I like the amount of detail that these cars have in them, these old ARCA cars, and I don't have to do any, chassis work. It's all done for me, I guess. But yeah, it's just a shame. And I don't think in the Xfinity series they have not had a car with the level of detail that's comparable to this since I think 2012 might have been the last year that Xfinity had a car with a lot of detail. I could be wrong. I didn't really buy a lot of, back then it was nationwide cars. Maybe 2014. Maybe 15. 2014, 15, I think something around there. Because I do want to say Chase Elliott had some cars made in 2014. Maybe it was 15 that had a pretty high degree of quality. Then it dropped off a cliff. But it is what it is. So same thing here on the passenger side as on the driver's side. Add our happy little decal. Same thing as before, the bottom of the number is parallel with the ground, and the top, the opening of the 9, just gets into the contour of the body of the car, that body line, so it just barely touches it, like that. So, get that water out of there. And I already kind of pre-painted the bottoms of the side skirts, but I noticed it's coming off, so I'll have to go back in and touch that up later. But the side skirts do get a black decal, which we'll put on here in a minute. Actually, let me... Oh, my other laptop's about to die. That would be unhelpful. You know what's interesting about this car is I don't have a reference picture of the passenger side. But I do have this picture, this video of the car getting absolutely destroyed. From the race. It's very low quality though. Yeah, I probably could have made the flux decal a little bit bigger now that I'm looking at it on both sides. Who designed this decal sheet? That's an ironic question because it was me. I gotta do better. Cody's not gonna want to get any more cars from me. He'll still probably like it. Unless he's watching and he sees that the decals are slightly unsized improperly. Then he'll be like, nope, I'm good. And I think, I don't want to jinx it. No, I don't want to jinx it. But I mean, we're looking pretty good for a 9:30 finish. We got 25 minutes left. And like I said before, we're not putting all those decals on tonight because I gotta cut out the roof flaps and the spoiler and stuff. It'll take it's a little bit more involved, so I'll just do that off screen. And then once this car's done, I'll make a video of it, like I normally do before I send it out to him. You guys will get to see it in its final form, its completed, finished form. But again, on this B post is that 30th anniversary decal for fast track racing. Can you see the 30? Oh yeah, you can see the 30. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. I love the small details like that when teams make changes or have little things like that on the cars. To be honest though, I have seen a lot, well, not that I'm never not honest, but I have seen a lot of, maybe not a lot. There have been enough cars from Lionel in the past that I have noticed have incorrect decals or incorrect portion sizes on the decals or like design imperfections, not quality, because they've had plenty of quality issues, but there have been quite a few, enough to notice design imperfections in cars over the years. And that's a problem. That, in my opinion, that's a problem. I know my opinion doesn't mean a whole lot, but yeah, when you see that kind of stuff, no, my laptop just died. Well, it is what it is. I was going to look up a reference picture. Do I run upstairs and get my cord really quick, or do we just roll with it the rest of the night? I think we just roll with it. I don't think it's worth it. The only thing I was going to do was look up where the decal goes on the back here, but that's not that big of a deal. Yeah, so we'll probably save the side skirt decals. Oh, how did I forget this one? This cowl decal. Squeak chair, squeak chair. All right. All right. Sorry, we had a little bit of break in the action. Can you hear my other laptop in the background? Let's see if I'm. Well, no, we got music playing, so we probably won't even be able to hear that. That's fine. Okay, so we got a few decals. We got about 20 minutes left. 25, something like that. Throw these on. The Camry tail lights, they went through a few different iterations. 2000, I want to say it was 2016, they went to a little bit different body style. 2014, no, it must have been 15. So 2013, 2014, they had this body style. 2015 and 16, I think they went to a different body style. And then 17, I don't really know. I didn't really watch then. But either way, taillight just wraps around the back of the car, and it goes right over top of the trunk. So I'll have to cut that. Oh, you weren't even seeing it. There. Right over top of the trunk. So we'll have to cut that later. Do the same thing for the driver's side taillight. And this one will wrap into the fuel inlet. I'll cut that out later. Again, it's easier to cut dry decals than it is to cut wet decals. When they're wet, they like to pull a little bit, which is bad. So yeah, we'll cut them later off stream, and like I said before, you guys will get to see the finished product when I send them off to Cody. I really thought this stream would be popping off with the promotion that I did. I even tagged Cody, and he's probably busy. Probably didn't even see it. But that's okay. We're having fun here tonight with the few people that we have. Again, like I said, the back of it doesn't have any branding at the bottom. It's all localized on the top of the trunk. There is a Diecast logo here in the back, the middle, like that. Oh, I did make a new outro, so when the stream's over, I'll play the new outro for you guys and see if you like it. It's similar to the intro. There's really nothing too exciting about it. I just, after the last stream, I kind of realized that I needed some sort of outro. So probably could go to the right just a little bit. Okay, that's done. Put this Camry branding logo on the deck lid, just like that. The nice thing about this is it's raised into the spot. It's molded it or cast into the die-cast metal. So Diecast, die-cast. Yeah, that's funny. What a crossover. So it's pretty easy to place this decal where it belongs, where it needs to go. Okay, deck lid and water technology. Don't know what the company is. They sponsor Cody. That's cool. They might want a car if they see this. I tweeted at them. I included them in the tweet today, so who knows? Everybody's busy tonight. It's really weird, this whole streaming thing, because like I only I don't even know. Like some people, there have been multiple people that just show up for one stream and then they never show up again. And I get it. If they don't like it, why would you watch another one? But it's just kind of funny to me. We have been growing in the subscriber count, and I appreciate everybody that's joining the channel and subscribing. That's pretty cool. But I would have thought, again, this is my mind at work, the more people that subscribe mean more people are enjoying the channel, and the new people to the channel would be like, oh, I haven't seen a live stream yet, let me check it out. I don't know if YouTube's not pushing it. I don't know if I'm not using the right buzzwords. We'll see how the Ryan Sieg streams go, because I'll probably maybe I'll do one of those next. Ryan's a pretty popular guy. Not that Cody's not, but we'll try a Sieg stream next. I'll probably just do his Phoenix Scar. Hold that thought. I guess I am gonna plug my other laptop in and see if I can get it back to do this tail light number. I don't know if it goes in the flat here or up on this tray. For the meantime, we'll flip back over to the front, because we got 15 minutes to go. Put this 30th anniversary logo in the headlight. Just like that. Slide it into place. The only negative about having a white underlay is you have to get it perfect. You have to get the top layer decal exactly over the bottom layer decal, otherwise you have a little bit of white shining through and it just looks wrong having that. So there's the 30th anniversary logo. Looks pretty good. The white number in the headlight for this one is, surprise, surprise, a white number. So it wouldn't make sense to put like the main number on the door is black, but it wouldn't make sense to put it in like a dark colored headlight. So we're just gonna put second white decal on to make it a little bit more opaque, so that it shines out a little bit more. Let's see. Ah, yeah. So when my other laptop died, it closed all my programs. Yay. All right, we'll let that come back to life. Throw this cowl decal in. I always like this one. It's not actually black. There's actually a hole here where the air goes into the top of the engine. But on the diecast, they are not cut out. They just... What the heck? Now my computer's being weird. I shouldn't have let it die. I like how it gives you the warning, like, you might want to plug in your laptop. Like, oh, okay. I didn't know the battery was low. Like, okay, thanks for Thanks for the heads up. All right, we're back. We're back up and running. Sorry about that, my friends. All right, so we got the cowl decal settled nicely in there. It just looks better having something in there other than leaving it the same color as the car. So typically I'll use black because on the real car you can't really see into it, so it does look, it does appear black. Okay, so as I suspected, the number on the TV panel is up on this tray. So we'll throw this on here. Right in there. It's kind of in the, well, no, it's actually closer to the side. More like that. It's on a little bit of an angle. Please don't tell me there's something wrong with my cord. My laptop keeps flashing back and forth that it's connected, then it's disconnected, then it's connected, then it's from the battery. That would not be, see, it's charging now. Oh, it's always something. It's always something. I shouldn't have let it die. That's just, that one's on me. Should have been smarter about that. Okay. So that's that one. What else do we have to do? I'll be so mad if it's a problem with, like, the internal in the battery. Alright, what else do we have left to do on this car? I got 10 minutes left. I'll do the side skirts later. We'll put this on. Put this on. We'll put Cody's name on the name rails. And then the last thing we'll do is we'll put the roof number on, and that should take us to 9:30. So we'll wrap it up there. And then we'll call it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this evening's decaling excursion. It's been pretty fun. This car is, again, it's not a difficult car that necessarily. We're not going to get to any of these decals because I'll do all of those off screen. Like the spoiler decals, and I hate taking this spoiler with the clear plastic because these were hard to come by. Maybe I'll see if I have any old ones in my collection to swap out. But yeah, so the red goes on the back side and the yellow goes on the top side, the front side, and then Menards goes over top of the front, yellow, and then General Tire goes on the back with the red. So I will do that off screen because you have to use a heat gun to get it to contour properly, and it's a very frustrating process, but it looks really good when it's done. And then I also have the General Tires for the tires. I'll do that off screen as well because, again, using the heat gun to get them to contour nicely, and it's just it's a lot of work that I don't really want to be using the heat gun on stream. Same thing with this back windshield, this back glass. This piece that goes over top of it, I have to get really close, and because these are raised on the back glass, so I got to get with the razor blade and kind of work them in and cut around it. It's not that exciting for the stream, so I'll do all of that off stream. That's not as interesting. So yeah, we'll just finish these up these last couple decals and call it evening. And I guess, I don't know, I'm kind of making Thursdays like my streaming days. I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing that or if I'm gonna change it to a different day based off of the numbers that we get, what's better for people. Maybe I'll just do random streams here and there when I find time to work on the cars, because ultimately that's what it boils down to, is when I find time to work on them. But after this one, I will only have 8 more to go. For my current workload, only having 8 more cars is not too bad, I guess. But yeah, I'll keep you guys posted with the streaming schedule if it changes. Now everybody's jumping on right at the end of the stream. We only got like 5 minutes left and 2 more people have joined. So welcome in. You guys have missed a fun one. Hope you're doing well. I will show you the car here in a second. I'll switch over to the main screen, or the screen with the car on it, just as we wrap up working on this windshield banner for the ARCA Menards series. Again, I feel like Bob Ross. You got a happy little decal here. There we go. Happy little decal. So the Menards across the windshield. This is Cody's Talladega car. We'll go to that. So, yeah, pretty much done with it. I'm going to put the name rail on real quick, do the roof flaps, or the roof number, and then we'll call it, and I'll do all the rest off stream because it's more involved. It takes a lot of time. It takes a heat gun. We don't really want to be blasting the heat gun on stream because it's loud and obnoxious. I mean, I suppose I could mute myself, but we'll save all that for later. So get the name rail on here nice and straight, which honestly sometimes when I look at the cars, nothing against Fast Track or any of the ARCA teams, but a lot of times you'll see decals just kind of thrown onto the cars. So they're not always the straightest. They're not always the most bubble-less. A lot of them have bubbles in them, which is fine. They're going 180 miles an hour. You can't really notice that. But yeah, it's just kind of funny. Sometimes I wonder, like, am I putting too much care and too much detail into these? No, I don't think I am. You can never do that. You can never have too much care. You can never be too careful when you're working with something as detailed as these. So yeah, we got Cody's name rail right there. We'll swap back to the main camera. So there, and those other 2 viewers said, "This is not interesting. I'm out of here," which is fine. So, last thing for the evening, everybody. All my people, my friends out there, throw those on. Get a little decal setting solution on there. Go over to my reference pictures. Grab the one where you can see the roof number the best, which actually might be the same picture as we have here. Let me see. Yep. There it is. So we'll take that. Ooh, the nice thing is it doesn't touch this roof flap, so we can take that out, set that to the side. That's the nice thing about single-digit roof numbers. It only interacts with one of the roof flaps. So, we want it to be... I mean, it's pretty good right there, honestly. Maybe up just a shade. Really not more than that. That's pretty good there. So, we'll just throw that down where it is. Take all the water out of it. Aha! Aeon water technology, and we're working with decals that are water slide. Took me off stream to figure that one out, ladies and gentlemen, but it's pretty neat. Anyway, yeah. So, roof number on. Pretty much, that's pretty much the car. Like I said, I'll add these later. You guys will get to see that when we're done, and I make a full video for it. Oh, video out tomorrow. It is Friday. We'll go to this real quick. This is the fate of this car. It was at Talladega, and he blew a right front tire and destroyed the wall. But he walked away from it okay. So, you know, it sucks, but I wonder... Nah, probably not. Never mind. Anyway, yeah, that's what happened to this car. So, huge hit. You see the right front tire is already down. It was down before he hit the wall. So, alright. Well, with that, I want to thank you guys for all being here. It wasn't the craziest stream we've ever had, but it was a fun one. We got this car 90% done. I have a few things to do off stream to finish up. So I just want to say thank you guys for joining, and let's try out the new outro. We'll just do this. We'll do this one last time so you guys can get a glimpse of what we worked on. Alright, now we'll try out the new outro. Thanks again, everybody. Have a good, well, check out the video tomorrow, and we'll talk to you later. Bye, everyone.